Today's been a really interesting day. We got to our first river, there'd been some rain overnight, and turned out there'd been a lot of rain overnight. And we drove over the bridge and the river was running pretty high and pretty nasty, a lot of colour, about 3 inches of visibility. What we decided to do was give it a little bit of a quick go, and I concentrated on working the seams of the water with some big flies, try and move them around a little bit, see if we could entice anyone to bite them. Sadly, that wasn't the case. We had about 3 inches of visibility. The fish, unless it was right on their nose, were not going to chase anything down, so we had to make a change. We had to draw a line in the sand really and say, right, this isn't going to work. And the great thing about the West Country Passport is that there are other beats we can go fish. So we made a call, jumped in the truck for 5 minutes, 10 minutes down the road and hit a new river. This river, the river was still pushing a fair bit. And it wasn't the sort of conditions that we were going to be able to fish a dry fly or even a duo really. Although we had good visibility, we needed to get our nymphs down to the fish. That was the only way that we were actually going to find them. So what we decided to do was to fish a Euronymph setup or a tight line setup. And what that enables me to do is get my flies down to the fish nice and easily. So what I was doing was fishing 2-3 mil nymphs. And the Euronymph technique allows me to pitch those nymphs into that fast water, get them down into the feeding zone quickly and track them through the water nice and easily. It may not always be for purists, but I think it's a great way of fishing when the conditions are against us. And the problem we'd have had if we'd have hung a nymph off the back of a dry fly was that a nymph would be fishing pretty high in the water, and with the pace of the water today, that wasn't going to work. What we decided to do then was work the slacker, slightly deeper channels or the seams of the faster water. So with our Euronymphing or tight line nymphing, what I'm doing is casting the flies upstream, keeping a tight line, hence the term tight line nymphing, a tight line as I track those nymphs down through the water. And what that allows us to do is detect the slightest, subtlest little take. The problems that we have with fishing a duo is that there is a little bit of slack in the system sometimes, so we're not always going to register a take. And the problem with that is that sometimes when we do get a take from the fish, that little take may be the rejection, not the actual decision that the fish has made to take the fly. But if we've got those flies nice and tight, the moment that fish makes contact, it's going to show on our monofilament indicator, or very often we're going to feel it too. So what we did was concentrate on those slack bits of water, and we've been able to catch plenty of fish today working that way. I've manipulated the flies. That's one of the great advantages as well, is that I can jig or move those flies a little bit through the water to make them interesting to the fish. We've had a great day's fishing and it's been really good fun on the water today.